In this video, we got another episode of the Start Bench Cut series. Basically, what this series is you guys will let me know 3 different players on Twitter at X7Tanaka. I'll put a tweet asking for 3 players for a Start Bench Cut vid, and then in the replies down below, you can see people have put 3 different cards. So Kevin Durant, T-Mac, and Danny Granger, right? Luka, Jokic, Ben Simmons, right? PG, KD, and Invincible T-Mac. And I'll have to go through with these 3 different players or 3 different cards, and I'll have to say who I'd start, so who I think's the best, who I'd bench, who I think's the second best, and then who I would cut from those 3 cards, saying who I think is the worst or the weaker between the 3. So if you guys also want to comment down 3 different players underneath the YouTube video in the YouTube comment section, let me know 3 different players down below, and I'll try to go through as many comments as possible and tell you guys who I'd start, who I'd bench, and then who I would cut as well. But first one here in the video comes in from BTG. He says Radiant T-Mac, Prime Terry, so the Terry Dishinger, the lock-in, and then interdimensional Tim Thomas. So a very close debate between all 3 shooting guards. Are all amazing offensively. I would give the slight edge to T-Mac. I just really like his jump shot. I think it's super easy to time with. I think he's got very solid dribble sigs. And then I would say bench Tim Thomas. He's 6'10" at the 2, 7'2" wingspan. He's still got great size, a really quick jump shot, great dribble sigs. And then I would say cut Terry Dishinger, but very close at the shooting guard position. That one is really a toss-up. I think all 3 of those cards are very similar at shooting guard. Next one's going to be Kevin Durant, T-Mac, and Danny Granger. I would say Danny Granger is going to have to be getting cut, even though I think he's an amazing shooting guard. I love that Danny Granger card because he's really good, all around as a 6'9" 2 guard, 7'1" wingspan. I think Danny Granger is an absolute beast, one of my favorite jump shots in the game with the KPJ base, Kevin Love upper on very quick timing, and then has those crazy elite dribble sigs. I just think T-Mac is on not a whole different level, but I think the I'm assuming you're talking about the Invincible T-Mac. I think it's just on a step above, right? Having that jump shot on very quick timing is going to help, and also getting those extra stats and badges for defense is going to make him a way better defender. And then obviously endgame Kevin Durant is going to be the best between the 3, in the card that I would start. 6'10" at shooting guard, 7'4" wingspan. We know he's got, all the best sigs, one of the best jumpers in the game, right? Amazing endgame dunk packages. So I would say for this one, start Kevin Durant, bench T-Mac, and then cut Danny Granger. This one's very similar to the Terry Dishinger thing. I would say it's the same way. Start Radiant T-Mac, bench interdimensional Tim Thomas, and then cut AK-47. Invincible Tracy McGrady. That's actually the exact same one. I didn't realize that. That is the exact same. So once again, start KD, bench T-Mac, cut Granger. Next one's going to be Luka, Jokic, and Ben Simmons. I'm assuming he's talking about the endgame Luka, and I would say these are probably the 3 best point guards. And I think it's really a debate between Luka and Jokic. I'm gonna be cutting Ben Simmons, even though I think Ben's a great, tall 6'10" or 6'11" point guard, probably the best defensive point guard in my team. But Luka and Jokic are just so amazing at point guard. You got Luka 6'7" at the 1, 6'8" wingspan, but the huge advantage goes to Jokic when we're talking about the size, player model height, wingspan, because he's 6'11", 7'3" wingspan, and has a way better player model in game. Luka's gonna have the way better stats, especially on defense. So across the board, stats and badges obviously going to go to Luka. Tendency is going to go to Luka. So on paper, Luka looks to be a better card, and also animations wise, he's got way better dribble sigs. Jump shot, I don't even know if he's got a better jump shot. I think Jokic's is probably easier to green. Luka's is a lot faster. But yeah, and then also those endgame dunk packages. I think Luka's still the best point guard in my team. I think Jokic is really close, especially for coming out a while ago, right, in April, like only mid to late April, and only being a normal dark matter, where like most top tier cards are actually invincibles or endgame. So for Jokic to be that close to being the best point guard just shows how good he is. But I would say start Luka Doncic, bench Jokic, and then cut Ben Simmons. Invincible Granger, endgame PG, or hero Tim Thomas. For this one, I think I definitely have to start endgame Paul George. I think he's so amazing at the shooting guard position. Like having using this card, he just does everything you need of a shooting guard. And I think the difference between him and Kevin Durant really comes down to the player model and just the defensive animations, because obviously they're going to have the same jump shot, same dribble sig, same dunk packages. But the thing about Paul George is he is a much wider player build than a Kevin Durant, and also I think gets better slashing animations, just better at finishing around the rim, and also does get better defensive animations. But for this one, I would say definitely start Paul George. Between Tim Thomas and Danny Granger. I think that's a lot closer of a debate than some people might think. I'm kind of leaning towards Danny Granger. 6'9" at the 2, Tim Thomas is 6'7" at the 2, so they're very similar when it comes to the height and the wingspan. Stats obviously go to Danny Granger, and some pretty decent stat upgrades. Tendencies go to Granger, but not by a ton. Badges also go to Granger, not by a ton as well. So it really comes down to the animations, and I think it's close. I think it's such a close debate. I'm gonna give this slight edge to Danny Granger. So for this one, I would say start Paul George, bench Danny Granger, and cut Tim Thomas. Next one's gonna be Invincible LeBron, Invincible Danny Granger, or Hero Tim Thomas at the 2. So I know everyone's gonna disagree with this one. I would say start Danny Granger, bench LeBron, and then cut Tim Thomas. Would I say LeBron over Tim Thomas? I don't know. I think it's so close. I think they're all amazing shooting guards. You guys know I love my Invincible LeBron. You know what? Just to make people happy, I'll say Danny Granger starting, bench Tim Thomas, and then cut LeBron. I think I already did this one with Paul George, KD, and T-Mac. If I didn't do this one already, start KD, bench Paul George, and cut T-Mac. Next one's going to be out of position Jokic, Amen Thompson, and Scotty Barnes. We're definitely going to be starting Jokic. I mean, he's like 90 to 95% of what the Hero one gives you for the out of position. So between Amen Thompson and Scotty Barnes, I'm gonna probably go Amen Thompson. You guys know probably how much I love Amen Thompson. I think he's so amazing at the point guard position. They're both around the same height, same wingspan, but the main difference really comes down to the animations. Amen Thompson's got a way better jump shot, you know, better dribble sigs. He's better going to the rim, better defensive tendencies, not by a ton, but I just think all around I do like Amen Thompson more. So for this one, I'd say start Jokic, bench Amen Thompson, and then cut Scotty Barnes. I'm just going to quickly fly through the next couple of ones, just say who I'd start, bench, and cut. Not really give too much explanation, but just try to fly through as many as possible. So for this one, I think I already did Interdimensional Tim Thomas, Radiant T-Mac. I already did that one. A lot of the same ones, exact same thing again. So a lot of people really want to know this Radiant T-Mac, Interdimensional Tim Thomas, and Terry Dishinger. How many? There's like 4 or 5 people all saying the same one. That is very interesting. But next one is Yao, Wemby, Manute. I'm assuming you're talking about the next Wemby. I think you are. So I'd say start Manute Bol, bench Yao, and then cut Wemby. If you're talking about the Invincible, let's say no, but you can't, because no, it has to be that one, because, you know, if we're talking about cards, then I would say Wemby, the Invincible, Manute Bol, Yao. If you're talking at center, then I'd say Manute, Yao, Wemby. KD, Invincible, T-Mac, LeBron at shooting guard. I would say in that order. Start KD, bench T-Mac, and then cut LeBron. Next one's going to be very similar. I think I've already done that one. I think I've already done this one too. A lot of very similar ones. I don't think I've done this one though. Amen Thompson, Doug Christie, and Interdimensional Luka. I'm going to actually start Doug Christie. I think he's so good at point guard with an elite level jump shot. And then I'm going to say bench Amen Thompson and cut Luka. But that one is very, very close. And then let me just look for one more last one here. See if I can find anything a little bit different, because there's been a lot of very similar ones. We'll do Yao Ming, Shaq, and Eden as the last one. So for the center position, I would start Yao. I would probably play Eden as a center over Shaq, just because I view Shaq more as a power forward. So I'd say start Yao Ming, benchmark Eden, and then cut Shaquille O'Neal. But guys, let me know in the comment section down below. Like I said, 3 different cards, and I'll tell you guys who I'd start, who I'd bench, and then who I would cut as well. But hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.